LA, man, I feel like magic. LA, I can't stand the traffic. West side for the vacation. Yeah, Westbrook on the isolation.
Yeah. So New York City gotta keep it Mickey Mantle, the bubble jacket with the piffy winkle camo, From Argentina, it's a military issue, And Lloyd said don't mix the pitbull with the shit, so don't do it.
I just threw it off the backboard. Game winner, I'm the one they asked for. Magic,
Bird,
magic,
bird,
magic,
bird,
magic,
bird,
magic,
bird,
magic,
bird,
magic.
bird. Yeah, 4th grade teacher said he need medication.
4 shows, 5 days, I need meditation.
6G, Peter Luger made the reservation.
Pass the check right here, no hesitation.
Spotify that showed the kid love. I'm like, what a week. Everybody trying to get my plug number for the years. Woo. I told my love, baby, we should leave. Then we go and get the pho, that's that Vietnamese. Yeah.
What's up, Central Youth? Pastor Luke and I are here today, and we are so excited for service. We're down here in the youth room, if you can't tell, and we are making preparation for you.
That's right, we are getting our seats ready. We're spacing them out 6 feet apart so we can have socially distant service so we can all be together.
So we're working together as a staff team to put together what service is going to look like on Wednesdays. So hopefully, sooner rather than later, we can be together. But we are excited for the service today. Pastor Luke and I did a blind taste test. What do you think about that, Pastor Luke?
If the fries were hot, I could do that all day. I love French fries.
I love French fries too. And so we had some fun with that. And so we're gonna check that out in just a second. But seniors, graduate Sunday, we're gonna celebrate you.
Right. So make sure to be here. What's the date? I forgot.
June 14th.
June 14th. June 14th, graduation Sunday. Make sure you are here. We'll have the 9 a.m. and the 11 a.m. service. If you haven't heard, we are having 2 services.
So be at both if you can, so we can celebrate you, we can celebrate your senior year and all that you have accomplished, but we are looking forward to service, like I said, so check out this game we just played. Hey Central Youth, as you can see, Pastor Luke, I assume Pastor Luke's over here because he was before I put on a blindfold, and myself cannot see anything, and we're gonna taste test some French fries from various restaurants. We don't know what's what. We're gonna guess which restaurant they came from. We're gonna give you a rating. So blind taste test. So we're gonna try to be as unbiased as possible. So check it out. All right, Tori, let's bring it on.
All right, here is option number 1.
Option number 1. All right. You good, Pastor Luke?
Yeah,
Pastor Luke's good. These are a little cold.
Okay.
I tried.
I'm gonna try one at a time.
Okay.
I feel like I know where this is from, because I feel like all their oil tastes the same.
I do too. We should guess at the same time.
Same time?
On a scale of 1 to 10 when you get it.
Hold on.
Let me get it before I give up.
It's cold.
I know, I'm gonna give that, count that into my.
I'm changing my mind on what I thought it was, but I'm gonna give it a 5. It's a mediocre fry. What do you give, Pastor Luke?
I was gonna say 5 or 6. I'll do 5.
See, we're about even. All right. Are we gonna say 3, 2, 1, go, or just 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1, and say it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, Sonics. Ooh. I'll give that Wendy's. I like Wendy's.
I'm not sure. Don't look at Wendy's fry.
Number 2. I was thinking Burger King at first,
I was thinking that too. It kind of tasted like that.
but after it set on the palate,
It's there.
I need to cleanse my palate.
Number 2.
Go further.
Number 2.
There you go.
Alright, this is a skinnier fry.
Okay, I think I based off of the feel. Oh, I know where this is from. Sure.
Okay.
I think. Oh, that fry just threw me off. Let me get it on there.
With it being blind, it's way harder to tell.
If what it feels like to me is what I think it is, but it doesn't taste like that.
What it feels like, I'm just gonna say it. I think it feels like McDonald's.
That's what I was thinking.
But it tastes like Sonic. I'm almost double thinking myself.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm thinking of
Because McDonald's doesn't have that much fluff in there.
No, but it doesn't taste like a McDonald's.
These came out soggy, so I think, like, these, I don't think will ever be fresh. So it makes me say Sonic again. But I don't know.
What do you give on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's cold again. But I can eat them, like, I'm not gonna not eat them. I'm gonna say 5.
If they were warm, I would give them a 6.5.
6.5.
So I'm gonna give them a 6.5 because if they're warm. Alright, ready to make a guess?
Yeah. Count it down, Bester.
Alright. I'm still trying to decide if I want to go with McDonald's or not. Alright. 3, 2, 1.
McDonald's. Oh, we're not agreeing. Okay.
Okay.
Despite the feel, it made me think of McDonald's. So I'm going with the sense of touch.
Sense of touch.
All right.
Sense of taste.
Number 3.
There we go. Okay, these
Oh, this is a sick boy right here.
this.
This tastes like a hand-cut fry.
It does. That was a good taste to it.
Are they hot or are they cold?
That was cold.
Oh, not bad.
So Wendy's does a sea salt. And I'm not tasting the sea salt.
I don't taste the sea salt in that.
And we have a mystery in here that we have no idea where it's from. I think I know where it is.
These, I could eat all these cold, it doesn't even bother me.
There's not bad fries. If these were warmed up, I'd eat a lot of them.
I think I know one. I have a guess. I doubt it's where it's from, but
I'm gonna give these 7.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
7.5.
If they were hot, they would be 9 for sure.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, you wanna do the countdown?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Five
Wendy's. See, I went the other way. I just don't think it's Five Guys. Because Five Guys has that flimsiness.
I haven't had Five Guys fries in a long time though, so I'm like trying to remember what they were like. I remember they were fluffy like that. They were more
I'm thinking
a thicker fry.
Joplin's Five Guys. So, Independence Five Guys could be completely different.
All
Is there new fries on
Round
Friday?
4. Here we go.
Round 4.
Okay.
Oh, you know what this feels like?
No.
Feels like McDonald's.
It's a little thick for McDonald's. Have I said Sonic yet? That's my first guess.
Yeah, you said Sonic.
Sonic
was
is
the first or second one. I can't remember.
Am I allowed to repeat myself?
What round's this one?
4?
Yeah, that's 4.
Oh, never mind.
I know what you're talking about. I've eaten many of these.
I mean, it might be Sonic. Sonic has no business in the fry game.
Sonic, you only go there for like their half price of drinks. I mean, I go there for like their 56 corn dogs too, but.
Chili cheese corn dog, or chili cheese coney, not corn dog. Maybe that's the thing.
That
Sonic
should be a thing.
I'm trademarking that. Chili cheese corn dog.
You need to patent that right now. That's a good idea. Alright,
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna give that. Because it's cold, it's making me like. I feel like I know where these are from. So I'm gonna give them, it's be just disrespectful if I gave anything lower than a 7, so I'm gonna give a 7.5.
Oh wow. I was gonna say like a 3 or a 4. I'll go 3.5.
You're gonna feel like so bad about it because I'm so sure these are where
I don't even care if my mom made those. I'm not giving them a 3.5. Those were bad.
Sorry, Karen.
Wait, is your mom really?
Uh-huh.
No, my mom's name's
That's her
Karen.
name. Not your strange.
My mom invented the Karens,
She did.
by the way.
She did.
Did she have that haircut? Like,
Yes.
My mom-
Yes. Well, she used to.
I'm pretty sure trademarked the let me talk to the manager.
Yes.
Sorry, Mom. You know it's true. I love you.
That's awesome. And that's why they're called Karens.
All right.
Alright, you get to count it down this time.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Burger King.
Still going. I think they're McDonald's.
Okay, guys. The last round.
All right, yes.
Number 5.
Ooh.
No. They're thinner but wider fried.
I know what this is.
You said that every time.
I feel I know I've said this. But when you know that you know that you know, I know what this is.
Okay, I think I know.
These are cold, so they're not good.
No, but I know they
Oh,
are.
that one's really soggy.
Well,
This soup is too cold.
this one had too much skin on it. Okay. Or I would give these a 5.
If I were dipping these in a chocolate frosty,
Ooh, yes.
then I would give them a 10 out of 10. But these are cold and really nasty right now. So, I'm sorry. They definitely cut the corners on these. Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Definitely cut the corners on these. I'm gonna have to give these like a 4. These are really bad. But I think I know who had them. I'm right. My turn to count down?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Wendy's.
Wendy's. Ooh, we agreed.
That was the last one.
That was the last
the
one?
last one.
All right. I don't even remember what I said for anything.
you want me to bring you
I
back the
remember
bowl?
The first one, as I said.
Yeah, let's see what they look like.
Alright, so this was number 1.
I think I said McDonald's.
I think number 1 was. I feel like that was Burger King, but I didn't guess Burger
What
King.
is-
Both wrong on number 1.
What was it? This is Sonic. This looks like Sonic.
These are Wendy's.
You're both wrong still.
Long John Silver's.
No,
What?
5 Guys.
no. This is the mystery one.
I don't know.
What?
These are Hardee's.
Hardee's.
These are Hardee's.
I
Get out of here, Hardee's.
have Hardee's though.
Okay.
I haven't had Hardee's in a long time, but I like Hardee's.
What did I say?
I think you said Sonic. I can't remember.
I don't know what I said.
It still tastes like Sonic. I do not retract my answer.
What do you think those are?
This looks like Sonic.
That was option 2.
I think I said McDonald's for these.
What did I say?
I don't remember. I should have wrote down what you guys said.
I either said McDonald's or Sonic for these.
No. What is it?
Because
It's Sonic.
If I said Sonic, those look like Sonic.
Now these ones you guys went gaga for, but I don't think either one of you got it right.
We should not be fry critics.
Maybe when you see them, you'll figure out what they
That's
are.
Burger King.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
I don't
guys
eat
are
at
all
Burger
about Burger King.
I don't eat at Burger King ever because where I'm from, Burger King's ratchet, so you don't eat at Burger King.
That's fair. Dropping Burger King's not good.
You also get the most for the price at Burger King. There's the most fries.
You also
than
get
have ever.
10 nuggets for $1.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
This video is not sponsored by Burger King. I don't think we agreed on any of them.
One of y'all know.
The first one we agreed on. I do remember that.
Yeah, but you both agreed wrong.
I think we said Wendy's, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was McDonald's.
Yeah, you can tell.
I'm pretty sure I said McDonald's for these.
Mm-hmm.
No. McDonald's easy.
I don't remember what I said.
McDonald's.
But those suckers are cold.
I think they
You
get
taste
the
the
coldest
salt.
first.
Those are the saltiest.
And last but not least, should have brought you a Frosty.
I told you.
We both said Wendy's on this one.
Yeah. The sea salt really does it.
I know, it did not taste good. Those are shocking.
Kind of like mine.
Hey Central Youth, I'm so glad that you joined with us this Wednesday night. I'm so glad that we get to have service, and I am even more glad that this could be one of our last online services that we do, because we are making plans right now as a staff team to get back to in-person service. Now, as much as I love talking to a camera, I'm really looking forward to some in-person dialogue. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm looking forward to living some life together. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your cooperation. And I know that it is going to be so wonderful to get to be together again. So if you would, let's just pray over tonight's service. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity we have. Thank you for the ability that we have to have service, even though it might be online and it might not be what we're used to. But Lord, I also thank you for the direction we're moving to get to be together, to be in person, Lord Jesus, to encourage one another, to have that dialogue, to speak life into each other, Lord. Lord, I thank you for your plans, for they are great, and you know what we have need of, and we give you all the praise. So, one thing I love to do is I love to ask people, what is new in your life? Or I like to ask people, has anything fun and or exciting happened to you lately? And I do this because it's one of my conversation starters. Number one, I do it because I enjoy the conversation, to get to know you, to know what's happening in your life. It doesn't matter if it's fun and or exciting. I just like the conversation. But number two, I am a sucker for a really good story. I love the details, and I will live vicariously through you as you tell that story. So I love getting to hear what is happening in your lives. But typically, the answer that I get whenever I ask somebody, hey, what's up, what's new? Has anything fun or exciting happened in your life lately? Is nothing, or my life is boring, or nothing's new. Which is crazy, because we live in a crazy time right now. Am I right? So you guys are living through a pandemic right now, and crazy events are happening left and right. And now we have protests that are happening. And people are saying there's nothing new happening. I just don't see it. But tying all that in together, our pandemic, some crazy events in the news, some riots, it all comes back to love. So today, my title for my sermon is, what does love have to do with it? If you will join with me and read, we're going to read in Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 40. The Sadducees and the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with a question. Teacher, what is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. The first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. So today, you look at all these maddening events, and how much different would our lives be if we loved one another as we love ourselves? Don't get me wrong. What's happened, these events that are taking place, what's happened to George Floyd was a horrible, horrible thing. A life was lost, and we can never get that back. Whether it was a mistake or a wrongdoing, it was still wrong. But I'm going to venture out and say this. I don't believe that we are fighting a race issue today, but rather I think we are fighting a love issue. Our greatest commandment that was given was to love God. But right after, Jesus practically ties the two together, saying, love your neighbor. He piggybacked off loving God and loving your neighbor. And in the book of Luke, it is asked, who is my neighbor? And Jesus tells of the parable of the Good Samaritan. You see, Jews and Samaritans, they didn't get along whatsoever. So for Jesus to associate the two and use this illustration, well, it would have taken a lot of love for that to work. So Jesus told of this parable of the Good Samaritan about putting bias behind and loving one another as we're commanded to do. To simply put our neighbors first, to love them like we love ourselves. Simply put, our neighbors are those that we come in contact with. And some are harder to love than others. But nothing besides loving God is to come before us loving our neighbors. Not race, of our neighbors, not social class, not their cleanliness, nothing you can think of should prevent you from loving those around you. Because we're called to love unbiasedly. Maybe you can think of a time where it was hard to love somebody. And I'm sure there's been a time that someone can say it was hard to love you. But we're called to love. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good and perfect will. Let us not fall into the drama of the world and everything that has to offer, but instead let us focus on the things of God. If you have a cell phone, a TV, or a computer, then surely you've seen all this chaos taking place. People around the world are itching for a cause. But what if that cause was to love one another and to love Jesus? You see, we're living in a generation of movement. Instead of robbing Target, what if we shared the love of Jesus and how he died for our sins? How he was the perfect sacrifice, how his love is complete, and how when we experience Jesus and let him transform our lives, we can love like the world is calling out. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Let us change the world together by loving God, and then by loving one another the way God would have us do. So, what does love have to do with all of it? It has everything to do with all of it. God first loved us, and he sent his son to die on the cross for our sins, the perfect sacrifice. He was the atoning sacrifice for our sins. And it is through the love of Jesus and his transformational power to change the lives of those that he touches that we can live a life that is pleasing to God and help others discover the love of Jesus and change the world. You guys are responsible for that. Your generation's going to do something so amazing if you just let God take hold. If we put loving God first, and then we love our neighbors. If you were out there and you're having this yearning for perfect love, the perfect love that Jesus gives, and you've never experienced it, we want to help you take those next steps, and we want to pray with you, and we want to hear of what God's doing in your life. But you have to take the first step, and you have to reach out, and you have to pray. Call upon the name of the Lord. And if you don't know what to do after that, we're here, guys. We're here to answer questions. We're here to be with you. We're here to talk through the struggles of life. We're here to love you and love others. So if that's what you desire, and you desire to leave your old life behind and step into this life, the best decision you'll ever make, and let Jesus change your life forever, today, it's your chance. Or maybe you just need help loving others. This love that I've talked about and what love has to do with it, well, it has everything to do with it, because we can change the world by loving one another. But first, we have to love God. So if that's you, we want to pray alongside you. We want to be with you. We want to take the next steps. We want to pray. We want to see God work in your life today. So reach out. And guys, we look forward to a time when we can meet again.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who past, He has ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, He died for me. Who the Son sets free, always free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, always free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Oh, I am who you say I am. Yes, I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, always free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
Here's to the one who taught the stars to shine. Here's to the one who graced the dead of night. Pulled me from the dark, set my heart alight. Ooh.
start to sing. Open